Welcome back to the Joyful Mate podcast. I'm your host, your joyful journey mentor, Anthony Hartcher. And today I've got a very intriguing episode, and it's on how to manage the festive season in a healthy and a non-emotionally charged way. And yes, I recorded this on the Health Up podcast, my other holistic health podcast. And so this is a recording on the Health Up, and I've shared it to the Joyful Mate because it's so relevant to you Joyful Mate listeners. It's all about managing your emotions and how to better connect with all things festive season. Yes, even the drinking and the food, no matter what food you eat. So tune in to this insightful episode of Health Up, and thank you for continuing to listen to the Joyful Mate podcast. This season, no matter where you're at, it's a chance to connect with something that's important to you, connect with your values. I really dig into them, do what you love doing, do more of it over the festive season, because generally you have more time to do the things that you love. So really embrace it, engage it, and make the most of it. Welcome back to another insightful and exciting episode of Me and My Health Up. I'm your host, Anthony Hartcher. I'm your well-seerge, and the purpose of this podcast is to enhance and enlighten your well-being. And yes, you have me doing that just for you on this topic of navigating the festive season in a healthy way, or as healthy as we can, given what's on. So yes, in Australia, in the Southern Hemisphere, we have summer, and it coincides with the summer break and Christmas and New Year's. And so it's a time to be jolly, it's a time to be merry, and it's a time to connect. So the most important thing around this period is connection. It really is a great time to catch up with friends that you haven't seen for a while, relatives that you haven't seen for ages, and to reconnect. So it's a nice time to reconnect. For those that are feeling a bit disconnected, then it's an opportunity to find connection. So looking for connection that suits you, that is the connection you're seeking. So it doesn't necessarily have to be connecting with people. It could be connecting with animals. It could be connecting with pets. It could be connecting with nature. It could be just connecting with the hobbies, your passions. It's just a connection of some sort during this period. So, and also for those that struggle through this period because they may be forced, or not really forced, but they feel compelled to having to catch up with family members that you might have had a bit of a falling out with during the year, or not quite getting along well with, then it's an opportunity to prepare yourself emotionally. So it's really looking at the good side of that person, looking at what you like about that person, as opposed to focusing on what you dislike and making that bigger. It's balancing your perception of that person. And it's, if you're judging certain behavior that they do at this time of the year, then it's also looking at when you've done that behavior to a similar degree. So balancing your perceptions of them and owning your disowned parts, because when we point our finger at someone's behavior and judge them for it, it's a disowned part with us that we're judging ourselves for, that we feel guilty and shameful for. So it's finding how it serves, finding how it benefits that behavior, and really balancing your perception of that behavior, because it's whole, it's complete. It's just our judgment that makes us focus on one side. And when we focus on one side, that generally expands, where we put our energy to, our focus to, we get an expansion in that space. So we certainly want to make sure we're balancing our emotions going into the festive season, and to look for ways in which you can take or gain benefit from the interaction. And it's an opportunity to really reconnect, isn't it? It really is. As much as you might have struggled, or you still feel a bit of resentment or whatever, it's an opportunity to let go of that, to let go and to really embrace the wholeness of the person and loving that disowned part that you are judging, in essence. So this season, no matter where you're at, it's a chance to connect with something that's important to you, connect with your values. I really dig into them, do what you love doing, do more of it over the festive season, because generally you have more time to do the things that you love. So really embrace it, engage it, and make the most of it. The other thing I wanted to share in relation to this is, you know, letting go of some of the judgment you have around food, and letting go of the judgment you have around drinking or anything like that. It's really just embracing the wholeness. And if you embrace the wholeness of it, you'll do it more likely in moderation. It's when we judging ourselves for drinking or judging ourselves for having that sweet or something like that, we create this emotion inside of us. And in order to deal with the emotion, we generally eat more of it. We self-sabotage and consume more of it. So if you really embrace the wholeness of what you're doing and see it as complete, and that it's connecting you not only with the other person, with the people that you're enjoying the food with, but you're also connecting with the food at the same time. Because the moment you make a disconnection from the food, you'll lose your emotions. You'll lose that governance of the emotions, and in essence, you'll overdo it, right? So it's the same as if you're going into Christmas and you're really, got a workup over someone that you're going to run into. And the minute you get there, you just want to look for a quick calm me down. And so you start drinking a lot of alcohol to really help you manage your emotions. But you can manage your emotions before you arrive. And hence you can more enjoy the interaction, more embrace the wholeness of it, and see it as it is, as opposed to the judgment that you're passing on it. So really, it's embracing it is, the season for what it is, and letting go of the judgment of food, letting go of the judgment of drinking, and seeing that, the food, the drinking, it's all part of the connection, and it's all part of the whole picture. And it really helps you be more in governance of your emotions. When you're in governance of your emotions, you have more control of your behavior, right? When we lose our emotions, we lose our behavior. It becomes very irrational, and hence we overdo it. We eat too much of the dessert, we drink too much, and we do everything to excess. So it's the more you can regulate the emotions over this period and see the wholeness for what you're doing, and not judging it, or only seeing one side of a person, or just carrying in resentments and things like that. The more you let go of that, the more you dissolve that and balance your perspective and see the wholeness, the more you'll have control over your emotions, the more you'll like the experience, and you'll connect in more ways. And the more ways in which we can find connection, the more whole we feel, the more interconnected we feel. So it really is a great win-win situation. So I think, in summary, is to see it as it is, see it as an opportunity to connect in so many ways because you have time off. Connect with the things that you value most, that are important to you, and double down in them. Really immerse yourself in. And by doing that, you'll be more focused, more present, and you'll have more energy. And you'll have a great period, festive season, as opposed to, thinking about, oh, I don't want to see that person. I'm going to have to see them. Oh, they did this last year and all this, and you're working yourself up, and therefore you're getting there. You're very emotional. You're on edge. What you want to do, if you're like that now, start working on your emotions, start dissolving those emotions. So you get there and you're completely neutral. You see the person as a whole person. If you want help doing this before you go to that Christmas party, before you go to that gathering, please reach out. I'm available to help you see the whole picture, to see the wholeness in the person, to see the wholeness in you and love every part of you. So please reach out. Anthony Hartcher, I'm your well-seerge, your joyful journey mentor, and I really want you to embrace this season for what it is. Don't judge the food. Don't judge the people. Don't ultimately be judging you in that process. Just embrace the wholeness. See it for as it is and love it. So that's it for this episode of Me and My Health Up. I'm also going to share it on the Joyful Mate podcast. So you Joyful Journey Mentor listeners or Joyful Mate listeners, you'll also get a copy of this podcast. It is a dual podcast. Yes, for the Health Up members, I have another podcast. It's called Joyful Mate. It's more on mental health, but today's episode was primarily on mental health. And given that Health Up is a holistic health podcast, then I'm sharing mental health on the Holistic Health Podcast, Health Up. And Joyful Mate is mental health mainly, and helping you govern those emotions and seeing the world as it is and loving it as it is. That's the Joyful Mate podcast. So if you want more of this, go and follow the Joyful Mate. You'll find it on Spotify, YouTube. You'll find it on Apple Podcasts. And I want to embrace all my listeners over this festive season and connect with everything you love, connect with everything, about yourself, do the things that you love, do it more often, more frequently, and embrace the season for as it is. Don't judge the food, don't judge the people, and continue to tune in. Yes, this podcast, both the Joyful Mate and the Me and My Health Up podcast, will continue to run throughout the festive season so you can get wellness education and empowerment throughout this festive period. And I'll be here to serve if anyone is needing support over this period. So continue to listen to the Health Up podcast, which goes live every Tuesday, Australian Eastern Standard Time, and every Saturday, the Joyful Mate podcast goes live. So that's Saturday for the Joyful Mate podcast, and Health Up is every Tuesday. And thank you for tuning in to another insightful episode of Me and My Health Up in conjunction with the Joyful Mate. Podcast disclaimer. This podcast and any information, advice, opinions, or statements within it do not constitute medical, healthcare, or professional advice and are provided for general information purposes only. All care is taken in the preparation of the information in this podcast. Connected Wellness Proprietary Limited, operating under the brand me&my Health Up, does not make any representations or give any warranties about its accuracy, reliability, completeness, or suitability for any particular purpose. This podcast and any information, advice, opinions, or statements within it are not to be used as a substitute for professional, medical, psychological, psychiatric, or any other mental health care or healthcare in general. Me&my Health Up recommends you seek the advice of a doctor or qualified health provider with any questions you may have regarding a medical condition. Inform your doctor of any changes that you may to your lifestyle and discuss these with your doctor. Do not disregard medical advice or delay visiting a medical professional because of something you hear in this podcast. This podcast has been carefully prepared on the basis of current information. Changes in circumstances after publication may affect the accuracy of this information. To the maximum extent permitted by the law, Me&my Health Up disclaims any such representations or warranties to the completeness, accuracy, merchantability, or fitness for purpose of this podcast and will not be liable for any expenses, losses, damages incurred, indirect or consequential damages or costs that may be incurred as a result of the information being inaccurate or incomplete in any way and for any reason. No part of this podcast can be reproduced, redistributed, published, copied, or duplicated in a form without prior permission of Me&my Health Up.